Oh yeah. So just a short video to say how we're positively feeling the impact of having the network support managers in, or network support manager in CT393. One of the biggest and quickest improvements or changes that we've seen within the team is the culture and the feeling, the mood. So the team, a number of FTs have come to me in recent weeks to say how they're feeling a lot more motivated, a lot happier, a lot more cared for. And that's on the back of the NSM having the time and availability to spend a lot more one-on-one time with them, listening to their concerns and having the time to consistently feed back to them and give them that reassurance of what they're doing well, what they're not quite achieving, and how we can work with them to keep them on track to improve. And we're seeing the impact of that in terms of actual insight. So we've now got well over half our team are consistently hitting 100% shift compliance, which a few months ago we were struggling to get them sort of over into the 80s. We've now got half a team consistently hitting 100%, and we've been, and the NSM's been able to work with ones that are below 80%, 60%, 50% to understand actually what's causing it. And some of it was behaviours, and some of it was external factors, such as some jobs were sent down by schedulers, or issues with the actual insight report itself, and they've worked with them, and the technicians have seen the feedback and the effort from the NSM, and the feedback from the NSM to say, actually, this is what we need to do, this is what's working well, and feeding it to them in a way that actually they feel like they're not just being hit with a stick now, which I don't think we were doing in the first place, but it certainly probably came across as that in that manner with them, and they're feeling a lot more cared. So we're seeing that improvement. So we've gone from meetings of, we go around the room, how are we feeling today? It was ones, it was twos, it was very negative, very quiet, very dull. And we're now seeing consistently threes and fours, and the team are a lot more engaged again. They're excited, they're starting to be happier to be here again, and they want to do a great job again. It's feeling a really good place to be again. We're also, and another impact on that is actually we saw a lull where actually FTs weren't wanting to do overtime, they weren't wanting to stay on to finish that bit of job. They'd rather do work that for next morning and go home because at the end of a shift and finish for work tomorrow. We're now seeing them want to stay on later to finish the job. They're actively saying, yes, we can come in and cover that standby, or we can come in on a weekend to help get that job done. So we're definitely going in the right direction, and that's because of the NSM having the time to be visible and show that we care, and the team are cared for and cared about. On the flip side of that, what I'm seeing is I'm becoming more available, or I have more ability and time to commit to being more strategic and building relationships with teams around me. So a good example of that is quite recently I've sat down with our ECAS officer to say, we need to get the engagement in the team again with ECAS. We're getting a lot of fog blockages that are causing our internals and external floodings. And I repeat, so the ECAS referrals have dropped off in CT393. And I had a really good structured meeting with our ECAS officer to say, actually, how do we want this to work? How do we get the most benefit out of each other? How can we work together? And how can we promote that in the team? And beyond that, how do we continue to keep that focus, engagement with the team in the coming weeks and months to get continued benefit and continued success? Previously, that would have been a quick meeting, but typically would have been cancelled 2 or 3 times because I've been pulled into other stuff, incidents in the team or issues with people. But I've actually had the time to go. Actually, I don't need to worry about that meeting because the NSM's doing that with the team. I can focus on this. So I've been able to come up with a structured meeting, say this is what we want, this is what we need, work with our ECAS officer, and we presented that plan to our team yesterday in the performance cell meeting in the morning. On the back of that, typically we used to see little engagement because ECAS would come with a standard slide pack saying this is effectively, we're ECAS, we're brilliant, this is what we can do for you, this is what we've done across the company, but it was very minimalistic in terms of actually what we're doing in your team. So they came to yesterday and we fed this plan for the team, and the team were extremely engaged again. They're excited, they're asking questions on how can we support them, how do we see the benefit coming back, and we'll continue to have these meetings every few weeks with ECAS in the room, specifically targeting the work that we have passed to them, so that it's an opportunity for technicians to go, actually, we missed this ECAS report, we can discuss it now in a room, we can put it through to ECAS in the room, so we don't miss those jobs going forward, but also seeing if they're going to see this feedback from ECAS on a regular basis, much more regular basis than it used to be, to say, this is the job you reported 2 weeks ago. We've been and seen the customer. This is what we're doing with them. This is the plan going forward, and we'll get that feedback right through to the end. So the team are quite excited, and they've left very engaged, and I'm very positive and hopeful that we'll see a lot of benefit from that going forward. So that's just one of the ways that I'm now seeing the benefit, in terms of I've got time to commit to these things and show consistency, because it's easy to commit some things over the last year and then we lose the focus because we get pulled into other things, and we're trying to balance the needs of the team against the needs of what we need to achieve in the area, promoting assets, etc. So 1 month in, 1 month and a week in of having an SM, and we're massively feeling the impact. I think it's been a fantastic move. Thank you.